Today we're going to present what we did in our carbon audit workshop. So we split into two teams. Group A, the optimists, their goal was to balance AI's energy costs with massive systematic carbon saving. And then Group B, the realists, a goal to expose the hidden energy cost of massive AI using.
Before we start, I want to say something about our first task because we had to do searching for a real-world case with finding with the AO tool, and we decided to work on AI for grid optimization. And in the picture, we see the problem. Too much wind power is produced in the north, and the lines to the south are at full capacity. So the wind turbines in the north must be shut down, and the gas-fired power plants in the south must be ramped on. The solution with AI could look like this. The AI acts like a digital pilot. It analyzes massive amounts of data in real time, like weather facts, when and where is the sun shining, consumption, when the factories turn on their machines, and the grid status, which power lines is heated to what extent. By analyzing the weather data and factory schedules, the AI can predict a traffic jam before it even happened. The clever part could be like this. The AI knows, can you switch the slide? Yeah. Thank you. And the AI knows what power lines can handle to more electricity when they are called by the wind. So it allows more traffic on the grid when the weather is right. It also uses electric cars to home batteries as small buffers to store energy temporarily. From this follows the result. The AI calculates cooling effects of wind and ambient temperature on the power lines in real time. And the effect? This allows the grid to operate safely at 100% of its actual physical capacity. For beyond traditional static limits, we maximize the use of existing infrastructure instead of leaving buffers energy in it.
So before we come to our results, we have to talk about the Jevons paradox, which means more efficient is the technology, more resources we use. So even if we create a new technology that is supposed to reduce the use of resources, we will see that we use more and more because we consume more this technology. So this paradox appeared in the Industrial Revolution in England. We saw that the use of coal in England soared after the invention of a steam engine that was supposed to use less coal, and after we saw that, the use of coal just soared. And nowadays we can observe this with AI. So the AI chips have become more and more efficient and are supposed to produce less carbon emissions and to use less water and anything. But due to the increase of the use of AI, the carbon emissions have increased.
Then we study another real-life cases. So we study the system of HVAC. HVAC is the system in a building that is regulating the temperature, the air conditioning, for example. And so we see that with AI could improve and optimize the functioning of HVAC in order to save energy and some resources. For example, the old HVAC, the control logic was reactive, so they hold data and then they try to make the temperature change without any predictive. So with the AI will analyze all the patient data, the old data, in order to predict the temperature, for example, and so to reduce the use of energy.
Yeah.
All right, you can see the diagram on the right side. Oh, yeah, thank you. So the first point is measure. The AI measures the temperature in the building, and based on that, it assesses the temperature and tries to predict what it will be in, I don't know, 2 hours. Then it controls the temperature and learns from that. So it's a very, you see it's a circle, and the AI measures the temperature very often a day. So it's learning every day, and it gets better every day.
Then in HVAC there's another problem, the gas that are using the refrigerant gas that have a global warming potential 1,000 times higher than the CO2. So to avoid these guys to go out of the HVAC, AI could also help to recognize if there is any leak of pressure or some things going wrong in the HVAC to securize it.
Yes. So let's talk about the let's talk about the return of investment of an HVAC system. So to build so to train an AI of an HVAC system, you need around like 800 tons of CO2. But it's like only one time, so you produce a single time 800 tons. When the AI is working, we reduce the grid electricity of 12,000 tons of CO2, and when we displace the gas boilers, then we will save another 3,500 tons of CO2, and this every year. So you can, when you try to calculate a little bit, you have a total of carbon. You have a total carbon reducement of 14,700 tons of CO2, and this every year. And so, as you can see, the entirety of the carbon that required to build and train the AI system is paid off in 25 days of operation. So it's a very short time.
So when we use AI, we don't think that it will produce CO2, but we should do it because only one image generation is 25 grams of CO2 production. If 1 million people generate one image a day for a month, it will produce the same CO2 like 167 flights from Milan to Paris. And for absorb this CO2 daily, it's like 1,389 meter trees. So it's a lot of CO2, and we must think about that when we use AI. AI have two sides. One side that pollutes and one side that helps. Like when we have study, we can do maps with AI, but this will pollute the world, and this with the in the years will destroy the world and create also AI create problems with data personal privacy. So it's not all better with the AI. In our group, we produce 28 grams of CO2 in only 1 week, so it's a lot. And the 40% of these grams is not necessary, so we can reduce the use of AI and so the production of the CO2.
So now we are gonna talk about a car, which is called electricity map, on which we can see the production and the consumption of electricity for each country. For example, in France we use a lot of nuclear energy, which is very low carbon. As you can see, yeah, and for example Germany is not using nuclear at all, and more renewable energy and coal and gas.
Yes, and we can see we can switch between electricity produced and the emissions used by this. So we can see it. So Germany is using a lot of solar and wind energy. Coal is just 8.9%, but the emissions produced by that is at 75%. Like coal, coal produces a lot of CO2. Lithuania is using a lot of solar energy and a little bit of wind energy. Italy right now is using a lot of gas, but also a little bit of hydro and solar energy.
As you can see, the emission of CO2 is not the same on the whole planet. So the use of AI and the electricity and the resources that are needed for AI are not producing the same amount of emissions depending on each country. For example, using AI and service of AI in France will not emit the same amount of CO2 than in Germany or in Lithuania. So we have to take it in consideration when we are calculating the carbon footprint of the use of AI.
The first task we have to do as a group was creating a post-it wall. We try to analyze our days and trying to find when and for what reason we used AI. Then we use this graph. We concentrate on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, as we were all in France. We analyzed the data we came up with, and we arrived at those results. We use 90 times AI for simple queries that cost less than the other different tasks. 15 times for deep research and 2 times to create images. In particular, we use AI to help us creating this presentation. If we were, for example, in Milan, we would have been produced a lot more gas emission.
So after analyzing a bit more about the AI carbon emissions, we made a few statements. So the first one is the AI usage must be prioritized by evaluating additional benefit it creates and its necessity for humanity. For example, AI has to be developed in useful subjects like education, sciences, research, optimization of systems and infrastructures. So the second one is the generative AI, especially the one used for the generation of images and videos, has to be forbidden in order to avoid useless emissions of CO2. Publicity for any form of AI should also be prohibited.
Yeah, our last statement was it should be a requirement for AI companies to inform users for every AI interaction and put a carbon cost label.